No spectators, I should say. Remind you of that. No spectators at all. Alain Blondel talking to us yesterday about how, of course, COVID-19 restrictions have to be applied here. The priority, he says, is to have a meeting that looks and runs as normal, but for the absence of spectators. So he wants to keep the programme bouncing along in this first of 5 meetings. Each planned meeting in coming weeks has to overcome enormous challenges to enable athletics to roll out. But there's the programme for the evening. The men's 400 metres, 2 races coming up very shortly. And we look forward to fast times on what is an acknowledged quick track. Plenty good mixture here of middle distance, sprints, hurdles, throws and jumps as well. And already, actually, before we've come on air, there have been some fabulous performances on that infield. We'll be bringing you the best of those over the next couple of hours. Well, a limit of 199 people have to be in the arena. And Alain Blondel has worked very hard at a sort of relay system almost of bringing athletes in from temporary venues a few hundred meters from this Europa Halle, bring them into the arena. They compete and have to be ushered out very quickly so that the next series of athletes can be brought in. The officials, of course, are in there for the duration. Well, this first men's 400-meter race, just 3 athletes: Thomas Jordier of France, Marvin Schlegel of Germany, and Oscar Huzios of Spain is the lineup. Huzios, good athlete out in lane 4. He'll enjoy that wide lane draw. The European indoor silver medalist from 2019, the 27-year-old from Barcelona. These are not heats, by the way. They will just aggregate the 2 races to find out the fastest man when they've both been run. The second race includes the Czech Republic's Pavel Mazlak, the ultimate indoor specialist, of course, 3-time world indoor champion. Well, there is Thomas Jordier of France. He's in good form. No outdoor races at all last year, but he ran personal bests in the short indoor season a year ago at 200 and 400 indoors, and was close to his indoor 200 personal best just last Friday in Miramar in France. There's Marvin Schlegel of Germany, fresh from an indoor personal best last Friday in Chemnitz. His only race so far. Last August he won the German title in outdoors in 45.80, his indoor best 46.66. And there's Huzios, good athlete, setting that lifetime best of 45.66 when he took that silver medal behind Karsten Warholm. Well, 2 years ago now. That was a fabulous silver behind Warholm's 45.05. Remember, he equaled Schoenleber's ancient European record for 2 laps indoors. Jordier, though, European junior bronze medalist back in 2013. Last week he ran a 200 and a 400 on the same day at Miramar. 47.3 400 and a 21.3 200 just to sharpen up. Meeting record, incidentally, 46.11 by Schoenleber of the GDR back in 1990, over 30 years ago. So 2 laps of the track and they set off fairly steadily. Tall, striding Schlegel in the middle in the blue strip, holding his own at the moment. Just beginning to close on Huzios outside him. Very even at the moment. Jordier taking up the rear positions. They go through 200 meters. 21.66. Good, sensible halfway split that. With the Huzios down the back straight in the lead. Schlegel trying to come wide, but if he's going to do that, he's going to run the extra meters around this final bend. Don't know if that's tactically smart or not. Jordier in the slipstream, though, looking for daylight between the pair of them. And Schlegel looking strong down the home straight. He did run the extra meters, but stays in front there and just out dips Jordier of France. And Huzios of Spain, well, back in 3rd place. Great run, that. 46.61 for Schlegel. And if that is confirmed, that is a new personal best, albeit by the narrow margin of 5/100ths of a second. But that from Marvin Schlegel, a real confidence booster. Did it the hard way, you could argue, but he judged that absolutely perfectly. Well, I think we can take you over now to the women's triple jump, which has been underway for a little while. You can see Skvartsova with the best of 14:28 set already this year. I say this year, it was actually back in late December, the Belarusian. Well, Liadamis Povert of Cuba, good on the board, giving away a little bit of ground there. That's a nice effort. And that second round effort, taking her out to 14:54. She had a solid opener, but that 14:54 is a new world lead and a personal best for the 24-year-old bronze medalist in the Pan Am Games a couple of years back. So, Michaela, round 3. She opened with a 13:87, did the Finn, then a no jump. That's better though. That's better. Not quite the fluency of Povert, but nonetheless, that one coming down at 14 meters 13. The competition's still underway. We're just catching up here from the first 3 rounds. So Povert of Cuba leads with that world lead and personal best, 14:54 from the second round. Makala in second place with 14:13. Well, the next event on the track, of course, will be that next men's 400 meters. And I can tell you that just waiting for that winning time. There it is, 46.61, that winning time for Schlegel. We go to the triple jump now live. Now, Michaela had a no jump in round 4. This is round 5. Most of them have taken their 5th round efforts. No, that didn't have the fluency, did it? And the power. Unable to maintain the speed through that one. It's another no jump. But rather conveniently, if you like, the first 3 athletes have gone beyond 14 meters. Violeta Skvartsova of Belarus in 3rd place with 14:09. From round 3, she's backed that up with a 13:80 in round 5. Just Povert, the competition leader, to go now at the end of round 5. I can tell you that Tori Franklin is in 6th place at the moment with 13:79. That came in round 3. She's only had 2 valid efforts from her 5 jumps. Now here's Povert. Nice sprint speed. Massive first phase. Great final phase into the sand too. Now remember, 14:54, her second round effort. That came after a 14:08 opener. Again, nice on the board. She had a no jump in round 3, then only a 12-meter effort in the 4th round. 14:34. Well, it's 20 centimeters down on her best, but it's still significantly quicker than further than anybody else in the competition has jumped. That's a pretty solid series. 3 efforts beyond 14 meters. And the world lead before tonight was 14:52. She's put 2 centimeters on that mark by Théa Lafont of Dominica. Back the track now for this second race. How will Pavel Mazlak go here? He is the outstanding favourite. His competitors, Samuel Garcia of Spain, ran an excellent 44.8 for a bronze medal for his team in the long relay back in Berlin 2018. Remember those championships? He ran the 3rd leg, 44.8. His outdoor best is 45 flat as an individual. He's in lane 2. There's Yusuf Karam of Kuwait, the Asian champion back in 2019, has an outdoor best of 44.84. I think it's a chunk to come off his indoor best. He's run 46.26. And there is Pavel Mazlak, 29 years old, the Czech. He's a living legend in indoor 400-meter running, 3 times world indoor champion in consecutive occasions, 2014, 2016 and 2018. He's also three-time European indoor champion in 2013, 2015, 2017. He missed the most recent edition of the European Indoor Championships in Glasgow 2 years ago with flu, I'm afraid. He's also European Outdoor Champion back in 2012 in Helsinki, is Pavel Mazlak. Best of 45.24. Just to put things in perspective, it's a pretty rare, small club of athletes that have broken 45 seconds for 400 indoors. There's only some 9 men have ever done it. Mazlak on the outside. Very smooth looking athlete, isn't he? With the green armbands. Although it's Karam who's run the most aggressive 100 and will lead into this bend, or will he? Because Garcia on the inside, by far the taller of the three, the Spaniard, has eased through to the front by a metre, 22.04. It's slow, much slower than the first race. Remember, they were down in 21.6. So it's Garcia leading. Karam with that accentuated arm action. Mazlak sizing them up from behind. Has he got the acceleration off the final bend? Pavel Mazlak is going to need to really push it harder if he wants to take this one. Has he got the acceleration? He's coming through strongly now. Yes, he has. He gets there. 46.98. Well, that was almost a tactical indoor 400 meters, wasn't it? 46.61, the winning time of the first race. That was by Marvin Schlegel, and he is a clear winner overall when the times from the two races are combined. Pavel Mazlak seemed more concerned with winning that race than really pulling out all the stops and chasing a quick time on the clock. Well, just confirming that winning time for Mazlak, 46.99. I don't suppose he's too bothered at all. Those European Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland, which we hope will still take place in a few weeks' time, are the main goal for many of the top European indoor performers. And of course, probably more athletes choosing to race indoors this winter because of the lean pickings in terms of race opportunities from 2020. Remember, there was only really, what, a half, maybe a third of a summer towards the end of last season. August, September, things started rolling. Torben Black now in this pole vault. The bar at 5.62. Oh, that's nice clearance. Just eased over that, didn't he? Almost looked to be in slow motion. Boy. Well, he's the first to go clear. He's only the second man to attempt this height. Such a strong field here. Renaud Lavillenie in this field, the former world record holder, Olympic champion in London 2012, and a former world indoor champion. Lavillenie passing at the opening two heights of 5.32 and 5.47, and will come in at this height, 5.62. From the 10 athletes competing. One man out already, I'm afraid. Ethan Cormont of France cleared 5.32 and then had 3 failures at 5.47. But once you're into 5.60, 5.70 territory, things start getting a little bit more serious. 8 men cleared 5.47. Cormont went out and Lavillenie didn't attempt it. Back to this triple jump. Pelletero then, of Spain. No jumping with her opener. Then 13.83, that's her best so far in the second round. She's only had 2 valid jumps. This is her 6th and final effort. Well, I don't think she liked it, no. You can tell from her reaction. The athletes generally know. The split second they hit the board, they can tell if the timing's right, the body position right. Really good on the board, but was she stretching for the board, maybe? No, it just seemed to lose her rhythm in that middle phase, didn't she? Frustrated with that one, Pelletero. 13.85, well, she was unhappy with it. But it was actually the best of her series. She improves by 2 centimetres on her round 2 effort. But I'm afraid stays in 5th place. Well, Look on the bright side. She knows there's a lot more in the tank. Now, Nila Eckart. We're watching this final round unfold. She's in 4th place as the German, 13.94 in round 2. Good speed. That was really nice. That looked really good. Oh, gets the red flag. That's frustrating, I'm afraid, because that looked close to 14 meters. Yeah, well into the board. Actually, considering she hit the board so fully, that was a really good effort. There's certainly more to come from her too. But 4th place for her. By the way, the scoring for these World Indoor Tour gold meetings: 10 points for 1st, 7 points for 2nd, 5 points for 3rd, 3 points for 4th. And it's the best 3 results that count for the athletes from the Indoor Tour. And the winner of each discipline at the end of the season gets $10,000 and a wildcard entry into the World Indoor Championships in Belgrade 2022. That's a nice effort from the tall, rangy Belarusian Violeta Skvartsova. 14.09 she jumped in round 3. She's really excellent on the board there. She's got that nailed. Lots of aggression there. She didn't look delighted with it, and generally they know, well, 14.10, she's added another centimetre to her 3rd round effort to close her series with the best of the 6. But she stays in 3rd place. I'm afraid she needed another 3 centimetres to catch Makkala of Finland, who is guaranteed 2nd place. Here she is. 14.13 she produced in round 3. Doesn't look really like she's going to threaten the Cuban Povea. Looks to be close to 14 meters. Remember, 14.13 she's jumped already. She's only had 2 valid jumps, and in fact a no jump there for her final effort. Opened with 13.87 and then 14.13, but she does finish in 2nd place, takes a few good scalps, and here is the confirmed winner. Now, can she focus and celebrate with something better still? Personal best for Leodagnis Povea with her 2nd round effort, 14.54. She improved by a couple of centimeters on her performance from February last year in Madrid. Final round of the competition, confirmed as winner. That looked nice. No, I don't think she was happy with that one either. Massive first effort, but couldn't really take it with that 2nd phase, not really fluid. The downward forces on the joints in the triple jump are absolutely monstrous. It's a very, very hard discipline to master. At full speed, you've got to drive off the ground as hard as possible and yet maintain horizontal fluency. Well, 14.48 wasn't far off her best, but it was in the 2nd round that she produced the big effort. And that world lead, as I said, improved by 2 centimeters from Thea Lafon's performance in Lynchburg just last Saturday. So she tops the world. Now, Valentine Lavillenie in this men's triple jump. Pole vault, excuse me. Oh, no. Well, the bar at 5.62. We now have, by the way, 4 men clear at this height. Matt Ludwig of the USA, Ernest John Obiena of the Philippines, Cole Walsh of the USA, and Torben Bleck, who we saw earlier, clearing at this height. So 3 men sharing the lead. Bleck has cleared this height, but on countback sits in 4th place. He had a failure at 5.32. And there's confirmation of that women's triple jump result. Povea 14.54, the longest jump in the world this year. Makkala 14.13, a solid 2nd for the Finn, and Skvartsova also over 14 meters, the Belarusian in 3rd place. Christou, who's a 14.50 athlete, wouldn't be delighted with that 8th place. So the women's 60 meters now. The first heat, and there is the lineup. Diana Weissman of Israel, six-time Israeli champion. Asher Philipp of Britain in 3, then Zahi of France in 4. Del Ponte of Switzerland goes in 5. Beside her, Rebecca Haase of Germany in 6. Yasmin Kwadwo of Germany 7, and to the left of picture, Nafua of France, Florian Nafua. Well, it does look like Carole Zahi of France is a non-starter. Their lane 4 appears to be empty. And that's a great shame. I can only think there was an issue in warm-up. The weather in southern Germany, not too bad. It's been around 9 or 10 degrees outside through the day today. There is Florian Nafua. Best last winter was 7:44. She has run 7:20. That was 4 years ago. Anna Weissman goes in lane 2. National record holder for the Israelis, the 22-year-old, was 7:31. Then Yasmin Kwadwo, already 4 indoor 60s so far this year, former European junior 100 meters champion. Germans in 7. Best of 7:24 from 6 years back. Asher Philipp of Great Britain goes in lane 3. Former world youth champion back in 2007 at 100 meters. 30 years old now and a major cog in the British 4x100 meter machine. Rebecca Haase goes in lane 6, a semi-finalist at the last European indoors. The 28-year-old German, very experienced. Best last winter 7:40. She's already beaten that this winter with 7:26 in Chemnitz just last week. Ajla Del Ponte goes in lane 5, 8th in the European Indoor 60 meters 2019. But she had a breakthrough outdoor season last year, the Swiss. A fabulous 2020 summer, many times close to 11 seconds for 100. This is Del Ponte's first race of 2021. Can she maintain that momentum from lane 5 that she set up through 2020? Ran 11:08 outdoors last summer for 100. So just confirming that Carole Zahi is a non-starter in lane 4. From the far side, Diana Weissman of Israel in 2. Asher Philipp of Great Britain in 3. Ajla Del Ponte goes in 5 for Switzerland. Germany's Haase in 6. Kwadwo of Germany 7. And French athlete Nafua in 8. The first 2 go through to the final in just over an hour's time, with 4 non-automatic qualifiers making it through. Good start there from Asher Philipp to the right in the all-black strip, looking strong now as Del Ponte coming through. Del Ponte's going to take this one from Asher Philipp. They're the 2 automatic qualifiers. I think maybe Weissman on the far side took 3rd place. Del Ponte took a little while to get into her running, probably hit the front about 15, 20 meters out. Really solid run that from the fully clad Asher Philipp there, over on the far side. Philipp really good out of the blocks. Del Ponte keeping low there in the centre, then driving hard, maintains that momentum through the middle of the race and going away really at the end. She'd have been a lot more comfortable, I think, if there had been another 30 or 40 metres to run. 7:21 for Del Ponte, 7:26 for Asher Philipp. They are the automatic qualifiers. And in 3rd place, Haase, 7:31. She will have to wait and see if she can go through with that. Haase, not quite as quick as in Chemnitz last week. Now there's a familiar figure. Raphael Holtstepper, former world junior champion and a former world outdoor champion as well. Just one of the products of the German pole vault production line in recent years. 31 years old now. He won the world title back in 2013 in Moscow. Won here at this meeting in 2018. And perfect so far. First attempt, 5:62. Oh no. So many athletes at this meeting have been desperate to get out there and unleash their form. 2020, most astonishing year for the sport of track and field athletics for many decades, in that pandemic decimated the competitive opportunities for athletes the world over. Some of them wrote off the season altogether. Others had just a few competitions outdoors in 2020, but are chomping at the bit to get some indoor competitions done and to look forward to those Olympic Games, which are still, of course, have a question mark hanging over them. The result of the women's first heat in the 60 metres, Del Ponte, Philip and Haase, 1, 2, 3 there, but only the first two go through by right. Haase and Weissman, 7:31, 7:35 respectively. We'll have to wait and see if they can go through as non-automatic qualifiers, although there are 4 non-automatic qualifier spots up for grabs. And the lineup for the second heat, as you can see, Dina Asher-Smith, 7:08, her personal best, although that was a good few years back now, as the world 200 metres champion from Doha 2019, makes her first indoor outing here for 3 years. It's been a long, long time she's been away. Well, there is Burkhardt, Alexandra Burkhardt, 5th at the European Indoors back in 2017. 5'11" tall, Burkhardt, the German. She goes in lane 8. Tamaria Deliz of Brazil, 2 races in Lisbon on the 10th of January, 7:33 and 7:34. And the first of those in the heat was a new personal best. Mbisa Zongu of France, the 29-year-old, 11:06 for 100 back in 2018. She has run 7.15 a couple of years ago in Paris. Jamila Samuel goes in lane 3, European Championship bronze medalist back in 2018 at 200 metres, the Dutch athlete. This is her first race of the year. Lisa Meyer goes in lane 6. We're working our way towards the middle. She's a relay essential for the German squad, but has had a couple of races so far this year, 7:26 a couple of weeks back. There is Jennifer Montag of Germany. Set a personal best just last Saturday of 7.24 in Leverkusen. Good long jumper too. She's actually long jumped 6:42 as well as being a world-class sprinter. 7:24 last week. And Dina Asher-Smith, world champion at 200 metres in Doha. Remember, she took the 100 silver medal. She and her coach John Blackie decided not to race last year in anything internationally. She just had 3 very low-key races in her local London borough. But her national record for Great Britain, 7:08, was set in Prague 6 years ago, can you believe? She's a totally different athlete now. She's a different athlete when she last raced indoors 3 years ago, never mind about 6 years ago. So what can she do here? The fastest time in the world this year is 7.14. That was by the Americans, Mikia Briscoe and Twanisha Terry. Both of those set earlier on this month. The world record, by the way, 6.92 by Irina Privalova. A very select group of athletes have broken 7 seconds. What can Asher-Smith do here? She goes in lane 5. Solid start from Asher-Smith, pulling away now. Doesn't look like she's really straining at this one, but she's going to win by a metre and going away. 7.10. Well, it's the quickest time in the world this year. Not a personal best. 2 100s off her personal best, but in what, exactly an hour's time, she will be in the final. And what might she do there? I thought that looked like a pretty relaxed run. Nice and smooth out of the blocks, getting into a stride there over the last 20 or 30. Going away, Dina Asher-Smith glancing across at the clock. And I think, considering the effort it appeared she put in, she'll be pretty happy with that. Dwarfed there by 5'11" Burkhardt, 1.81 the Mannheim athlete. 7.11, adjusted slightly. But when you think that Del Ponte won the first heat in 7.21, that would put, if they'd run the 2 races adjacent to each other, that would put Dina Asher-Smith best part of a metre ahead. It is the fastest time in the world this year, 7.11. Mbisa Zongu of France, second is 7.21. So she won by exactly a 1/10 of a second. And in third place there, 7.26 was Lisa Meyer. Well, Meyer will go through to the final with that time. So will Jennifer Montag, her German compatriot, with 7.26 as well for fourth in that second race. Well, Renaud Lavillenie comes in at 5.62 and makes short work of it. That's good to see. Let's take a look at the women's shot put, which concluded a little while ago. Well, for Christina Schwanitz, it wasn't a particularly happy evening. She held the meeting record coming into this meeting tonight with 18:41. But Schwanitz, the world champion from 2015 at 35, just couldn't get her act together tonight, not by her standards. 18:27 was her best in round 3. She ended up in 5th place. But what a night it was for Great Britain's Sophie McKenna. She opened with 18:29, that a personal best, and then in the second round banged this one out to 18 meters 46. That was a massive new personal best for Sophie McKenna. Ended up in 3rd place, second at that point, and she held second right the way through till the final round when Sweden's Fanny Roos disappointed her. But what a throw from Roos, what a series from Roos. 18:40 her opener, and then she closed her series with 18:64, a national record and personal best for the 26-year-old. 3 throws in her series better than her personal best. Oriol Dongmo, though, was in a class of her own. The Portuguese 30-year-old in her first competition of the year, throwing 18.81 with her opener, and then in this, the second round, an absolute monster. 19 meters 65 she was given for that round 2 effort, and won the competition, well, by just over a meter from Sweden's Fanny Roos, remember, with 18.64. She backed that up with a 19.03 in round 3 and 19.14 in round 5. It was a super series from Oriol Dongmo, the Portuguese. Born in the Cameroon, but so impressive tonight with the longest throw in the world. A national record for Roos of Sweden in 2nd place. And Sophie McKenna broaching new ground with a supreme series in 3rd. 5 of McKenna's series, by the way, were beyond her old personal best. Now, there we saw the athletes who go through to the next round from the women's 60 meters. Well, just eases over there. Holstepper at 5.62 at the second time of asking. Just remind you of those qualifiers for the women's 60. That came up very quickly. The automatic qualifiers were Asha Smissel, Del Ponte, the 2 winners, then Ombissa Zongu and Asha Philipp of France and Great Britain, respectively. The other qualifiers for that 60 final, all German. Meyer, Montag, Haase and Burkhardt. So 4 Germans in that women's 60 meters final in just under an hour's time. Holstepper, well, he stays in the fight. And that was a nice clearance too. 5 men went over this height, first time of asking, by the way. Seven men have now gone clear. Holzpepper at the second time of asking. Zernickel of Germany, Oleg Zernickel, at the second time of asking. And Piotr Liszek now, former world champion. No, second attempt for him, and the Pole might be in a little bit of trouble here. I say world champion, he was silver medalist back in 2017. 4th at the Rio Olympic Games, the 20-year-old, but he is, crucially, a member of that 6-meter club, clearing 6 meters 4 years ago in Potsdam, Germany. And if you look at the world all-time list, 12 men now have gone over 6 meters indoors. Lisek, 12th on that list. The men's 800 meters, and this always such an exciting race indoors. Elliot Giles shares lane 1 with Sanchez Valadares. Elliot Giles, European Championship bronze medalist back in 2016 in Amsterdam. Sanchez Valadares there of Spain, European under-23 bronze medalist 2 years ago over 800 meters. Christoph Kessler shares lane 2 with Baptiste Mischler. Kessler, the German, has a best of 147.8. That was here in Karlsruhe 3 years ago, and Mischler, well, as far as I can see, this is his debut indoors at 800 meters. Kramer of Sweden, very, very smooth operator. European Championship silver medalist in Berlin 2018. What a games those were in the Olympic Stadium in the German capital. Very, very good racer. And Robert there of France, their national champion last year at 800 meters. Pierre-Ambroise Boss, well, the world champion in London 2017, over 2 laps outdoors. He's a 142 performer on the outdoor circuit, 146.2. Here in Karlsruhe is his lifetime best from 5 years ago, so he has good memories of this track, does Boss. And Holger Korner of Germany on the outside there, alongside Boss to right of picture. Elliot Giles had a serious motorcycle accident back in 2014. Was unable to compete for a couple of years. Coached by John Bigg is Elliot Giles, the husband of Sally Gunnell, former world record holder and Olympic champion at 400-meter hurdles. Corner, it is. It goes straight to the front here as a pacemaker. And pushing it along pretty hard. Kramer in second place. Giles looking very smooth in third. 24.4 at 200. Good, healthy pace this. Still Corner leading from Kramer, then Giles. Boss second from the back at the moment. Valladares, Sanchez Valladares in fourth place for Spain. Boss just beginning to move up there as they go through 450.96. Well, that's quick indoors. I wonder how many of them can survive this. The second half will be a lot slower, there's no doubt about that. Single file down the back straight with 300 meters to run. Kramer leading from Giles. From Boss now is slotted into third place. Valladares, Sanchez Valladares in fourth. And they're working hard here, the old Giles, looking very smooth as they go through 600, 118.04. Now, Boss is strong. Has he got the legs here as Kramer continues to pump it out from the front, although he's beginning to look a little bit rough. Good move that from Giles, attacking just before the bend, goes into the bend in the lead and kicks away and has a 2-meter gap when the rest of them are struggling. Surely they're not going to get back to him now. Robert coming through strongly to challenge Boss on the outside, and Robert does take second from Boss, but an emphatic win there from Elliot Giles. 145.5 from the Briton. That is very quick indeed. And of course it's a new world indoor best. Goodness me. For this year at least. As we go back to this pole vault. Oh, and Lisek just cannot get it right. Valentin Lavillenie, by the way, has gone out at this height. Now so has Piotr Lisek of Poland. 3 men out. Ethan Cormont of France going out at 5:47. But we still have 7 men in there. Renaud Lavillenie shares the lead with the USA's Matt Ludwig and Obiena. No, that I think is Valentin Lavillenie, that coming to you off tape from just a couple of minutes ago. Looks a little nonplussed, doesn't he? Very much a world-class vaulter in his own right, but always in the shadow of his brother. It's like being the son of somebody famous. You're always the son of so-and-so, the brother of so-and-so in his case. Elliot Giles, well, that perhaps the track performance of the night so far. 145.5 really is top-notch over 800 meters. And Giles, so close to his lifetime best set in Birmingham 3 years ago, 145.46. Yeah, no wonder he's smiling, because that was a tremendously strong one. I thought he looked remarkably relaxed through 400, just around 51 seconds, and then through 600 as well. That is a 4-meter winning margin for Elliot Giles from Robert. Boss in second place. And he doesn't look overly stressed, does he? It's long been known that this man has a supreme talent. He's a 144.5 performer outdoors, that from last year. Many people feel that he's got a little bit more to come too. He's got strength. He's a 356 miler. That is fairly unusual for the 800-meter specialists. Born in Birmingham, but now lives down in the south of England to be near his coach, John Bigg. His Jamaican father and an English mother. And has really matured well, Boss. That is a wonderful way to kick off his 2021 season. Let's hope for all these athletes an Olympic season. Still waiting for the times to be confirmed, by the way, on our results computer. But Elliot Giles, well, he'll be something to contend with if he can move on in this indoor season and take this form into the summer season, around which there are still so many question marks, of course. Every aspect of life affected by the pandemic. Nobody quite sure what's happening next week, never mind about in several months' time. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for these men as well, the 60-meter hurdles. As we see the lineup for the first heat of 2. We are being told, by the way, that the times for that last race, apart from the winner's time, Elliot Giles, are proving a bit of a challenge. Giles 1:45.50 is confirmed, and Robert, behind that world lead of Giles, has set a personal best 1:46.3. Boss 1:46.40, as was Robert's 1:46.30. So they are coming through, slow but sure. Well, this is the first of 2 men's 60-meter hurdles races. As in the women's 60, the first 2 go through by right to the final, then 4 non-automatic qualifiers will go through to the final. That men's 60 hurdles final, by the way, will be the last track event of the evening, just before 10 o'clock local time, 21:54 local time. That's in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Vladimir Vukicevic of Norway goes in lane 8, the 29-year-old, 10 times Norwegian champion. Best of 7:69 in Gothenburg 2013. Paolo Dalmolin, European indoor silver medalist back in 2013, holds the national record for the Italians. Does Dalmolin, 33 years old though he is, in lane 2. There's Gabriel Constantino of Brazil, a South American champion 2 years ago in the hurdles outdoors. Has good speed, 20.21 for 200 he's done. There's Arturo Noga, very experienced Pole, the European Championship bronze medalist back in 2012 in Helsinki. He's 32, a lot of experience in this race. 4 of the 8 were over 30 years old. There's Erik Balnuveit, he goes in lane 6, the finalist. He was 6th at the World Indoor Championships in 2014 in Sopot. Willem Belossian of France, bronze medalist in 2016 in Amsterdam in the European Championships. He's had a couple of races in Miramar near Marseille in the south of France. He's world number 4 this year, with his season's best of 7.57, close to his best. And here, perhaps the favourite, Jarrett Eaton of the USA, the World Indoor Championships silver medalist in 2018 in Birmingham. 4th at the World Indoors, a couple of years before that in Portland on home soil, but didn't have any outdoor races at all last year. Well, Belossian of France, very experienced, despite being quite a few years younger than others in this race. If I tell you that Dalmolin in lane 2 is 33, Noga of Poland in lane 3 is 32, Jarrett Eaton is 31, he goes in 5, and Erik Balnuveit is 32 in lane 6. This is the race for the fellas with loads of experience. and focus to spare. Eaton in lane 5. Solid start from Eaton, great start from Willem Bolossian France. He's going away with this one. Bolossian way out in front at the moment, winning by 2 meters there. 7.48 for Bolossian. That is a new lifetime best. Boy, oh boy. Well, for Bolossian, that's the second fastest time in the world this year. Many of you will be aware that just last Sunday, the USA's Grant Holloway, the world outdoor champion at 110-meter hurdles, ran 7.35 in Fayetteville in Arkansas in the USA. And that equaled his own US indoor record. Well, 7.35 was a bit quicker than this one here tonight, but that is a fantastic run from Bolossian in lane 4. Very smooth. One of the shortest men in the race too. But look how well he covers that 60 meters and those flights to stay well clear of a very strong field. Jared Eaton, remember, second in the World Indoor Championships back in 2018. Was 2 or 3 meters back. Good to see that camaraderie amongst these athletes. Just waiting for the times to come up. The timing system taking a little bit longer. Some of these races, there are a lot of athletes dipping across the line at the same time, and they want to get those marks right. But no doubting the winner, Willem Bolossian. Confirmation of that 800-meter result, and Elliot Giles winning by the best part of a second and a new world lead, 1:45.50 from the French trio Robert, Boss and Michler. Kramer, the long-time race leader there in 5th place for Sweden. But that's so impressive from Elliot Giles, and still, for my money, perhaps, the performance of the night on the track so far. Plenty more to come though. 3,000-meter races for men and women, and women's 1,500. Those finals of the women's 60 and the men's and women's hurdles. Back to this pole vault. Now, Torben Bloch. Just one blemish on his card at 5:32, but good at 5:47 and 5:62. Oh, he sneaks over that one and it stays up. Gives it a little clatter. But Torben Bloch goes over 5:72. The first to do so. The second to attempt it, excuse me, Oleg Zernikel, his compatriot, failed his first attempt. Bloch, though, is the second to attempt it, the first to go over, and holds the lead, albeit perhaps momentarily. Next to go will be Matt Ludwig of the USA. Ludwig was NCAA champion, the collegiate champion in the USA back in 2017, and that is a title that carries enormous prestige. But that's a nice card for Bloch. Indeed, that is a new personal best. It was 5:70 from last year's meet in Dusseldorf. Now 5:72. His season's best, improved by 20 centimeters with that vault. Ludwig will be next to go. Well, we're waiting for the result of that first heat to come through, but there's the lineup for the second heat of the men's 60-meter hurdles. Gikia, De Oliveira, Mallet, Martineau, Lagarde, Bühler, Monga and Smet is the lineup there. 7 athletes. Remember, just 2 guaranteed a spot in the final in what is now almost exactly an hour's time. There is Koen Smet, 6 times Dutch champion, European under-23 silver medalist a few years back. That was in 2013. A best of 7.65, his lifetime best, was back in 2018. It's the first race of his winter. There's Damian Gikia of Poland. 7.54 he ran in Torun last year as a lifetime best. Twice a European Championship finalist outdoors. Aurel Monga of France, bronze medalist at the World Indoor Championships 3 years ago in Birmingham. The Frenchman, 7.53. His lifetime best was 4 years ago. Then De Oliveira, João Vitor De Oliveira, Pan American Under-20 Championship bronze medalist. few years back. Matthias Bühler, 8 times German champion, took 3rd place quite a few years back now in the European Team Championships. He's 34, is Bühler. Aaron Mallet goes in lane 4, US indoor champion last year in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Enjoyed that altitude of Albuquerque. There in the center, perhaps the big name of this race, Pascal Martineau Lagarde, the reigning European champion outdoors. He's a massive figure, 1.90 m, that's 6'3". His 4 best outdoor times, mind you, all came in 2014. He won the European indoor title in 2015. He's a very, very solid performer, Martineau Lagarde. Bronze medalist in Doha at those World Outdoor Championships in 2019. That coming, of course, 3 years after his frustrating 4th at the Rio Olympic Games. But a man who is perfectly capable of taking a medal come the Olympic Games this summer, he says with his fingers crossed. Życia goes in lane 2 for Poland. De Oliveira for Portugal in 3. Mallet in lane 4 for the USA. For the French, Martin Lagarde in 5. Bühler, Germany 6. Monga of France 7. Netherlands, Schmet to the left in lane 8. Martin Lagarde right in the centre there. Good start from him. Very good start too from Martin Mallet in the yellow. He's got some work to do, his Martin Lagarde here, and 3 of them dipping across the line, and Martin Lagarde pulls up holding his hamstring. Oh, what a shame. 3 men ahead of him, crossing the line simultaneously, 7.68. He has had injuries in the past, Martin Lagarde, more than his fair share. Holds the French national record outdoors. He's a sub-13 second performer, 12.95. He ran back in 2014 when he was just 22. Got a pretty good start. Mallet, I think, in the yellow was putting him under pressure there, 3rd from right. He had a really good run into the first barrier. Now watch Martin Lagarde with the head bun. Ah, yeah, pulls up there as he comes off that final barrier. That is a great shame. Let's hope it's nothing more than cramp. Well, Mallet, does he get this one? In fact, they've given it, can you believe, to Życia, Damian Życia, and Mallet came 3rd. But listen to this, 1st, 2nd and 3rd in that race. Życia, Monga and Mallet, all with the same time, 7.68. So that is a rarity. Damian Życia of Poland, 7.68, winning it there with 7.671 by 3/1000ths of a second from Aurel Monga of France. Well, there's the start list for the men's long jump competition. That due underway in about a minute's time. The other 3 field events are either concluded or well underway. Of course, the women's shot put produced startling throwing from Oriol Dongmo of Portugal, and the women's triple jumper, comfortable victory for Cuba's Povea. Men's triple jump underway. Women's triple jump, I should say, in the men's long jump now. Well, Maximilian Entolzner into the plasticine by just a couple of centimetres perhaps. So an inauspicious start for the German, their national champion from last year. Both indoors and out actually for the Germans. He's a 7.89 jumper indoors, that from a couple of years ago in Zaragoza, Spain. Outdoors, he's jumped 7.97, tantalizingly close to being an 8-metre performer. Well, Augustin Bay of France has also no jumped. He's second in the jumping order of the 8 competitors. The top name is last to jump Juan Miguel Echevarria of Cuba, reigning world indoor champion. And there's the lineup for the women's 1500 metres final. And this, a small field, but a quality field. Trost, Guerrero, McGeehan, Chiara McGeehan, under 2 minutes for 800 meters last year, a national record outdoors. Gesa Felicitas Krause there to the right of picture, better known as a steeplechaser. She was 6th in the Rio Olympic Games in the steeplechase and European champion, World Championship bronze medalist 2015 and 2019. Winnie Nanyondo, Commonwealth Games bronze medalist back in 2014 in Glasgow at 800 meters. She is better known as an 800 meter performer. Indeed, she set her personal best for 800 back in 2014. Became 2nd in this race last year and a then personal best and national record. Krause has been training in Kenya, flown in specially to Europe to get her indoor season underway with this. Came 7th in the London Olympic Games steeplechase back in 2012. Best of 4:08 indoors, has run 4:06 outdoors, Krause. And Trost there, Katharina Trost, a German compatriot. It's a 4:10 performer. Trost will be the pacemaker, I think. World record, well, Genzabe Debaba setting that mark at this meeting back in 2014 in this arena. 3:55.17. The world best for this year is likely to be beaten here. It's only 4:17.7 by Ludovica Cavalli of Italy. That was Ancona, in Ancona on the 24th, just a few days ago. So away they go then. 7.5 laps of the track, and Winnie Nanyondo going with the pacemaker. 4 women in this field, by the way, have broken 2 minutes for 800 meters, but for the majority of the field, there's room for improvement at 1,500 meters indoors. Well, Christina Herring it is who leads in that 1,500, as we see Holstepper now in that pole vault. No, he's struggling a little bit. Rafaela Holstepper. Still only 2 men clear at this height, 5:72. That was Holstepper's first attempt at 5:72. He cleared the previous height, 5:62, at the second time of asking. She's a huge figure, isn't she? Heading 6'1", 1.85 m, towers over little Winnie Nanyondo of Uganda, who looks very smooth in 2nd place, I have to say. The rest of them in single file, just a few meters back. McGeehan it is who leads the chase there for Ireland, the 28-year-old. Had a marvellous 2020 season, did Ciara McGeehan. With limited racing, she set 3 national records at 800 metres, 1,000 and 1,500 metres for the Emerald Isle. Grants on her shoulder back in 4th place. Katharina Grants, the World University Games champion back in 2015. But the pace being cut out here by Christina Herring, 64.6 at 400 metres, is pretty quick. They're moving at around 4:03, 4:04 tempo, and Herring kicking away here. Nanyondo's having none of it, not interested in that. 800 metres in 2:13.76 for Herring. Back to this long jump. Well, Tobias Montclair is the only man with a mark, 7:79. And now Fabian Heinle of Germany, 7:15 in 2nd place. There are 5 other athletes who have jumped, 4 other athletes, excuse me, who have jumped, have had no marks in the first round. Litiadis Tentoglu of Greece will be next to go, and then Echevarria of Cuba will close this opening round. Now, Guerrero leads. Herring's job done. Nanyondo with that 1:58, 800 speed, tucked in 3rd place. Grants from Berlin, psychology graduate, is in second place there, just staying out of trouble off the curb, not having to run too wide. Krause back in 5th place. Trost in 4th on the outside. Guerrero with that style, swaying from side to side. They go through the bell there around 3:41, and Grants kicks hard there. Into the back straight now. Grants, Guerrero, Nanyondo, and Trost it is in 4th place. Krause lost for speed here to some degree, as Nanyondo looks ominous, doesn't she, in 2nd place there for Uganda. The 27-year-old saving it here. Kicks off the bend, but look at Trost. She's taken the Ugandan by surprise. That's a fabulous finish for Trost off the final bend. Well, 4:12, the winning time. It is a world lead, improves the world's best by some 5 seconds. But Trost there, well, a bit of a shot. And I think that's a lifetime best. Yes, it is, for Katharina Trost, German national indoor champion 2 years ago. But goodness me, I think that race was wonderfully set up for Winnie Nanyondo and her fabulous 800-meter speed. But Trost took her by surprise, and there was no time for the Ugandan to react, really. Real shock. Trost 4:12.02, a winning time. Actually, not quite a personal best. It is a world lead, though. Winnie Nanyondo 4:12.36, losing there by just a meter or so. Solid second, though, for Nanyondo. And of course, every one of these athletes just so delighted to be competing. Indeed, Alain Blondel saying that a huge degree of gratitude is due to the Baden-Württemberg state region, who are very pro-professional sports. They said they would allow professional sports people to come and go without the normal 7-day quarantine, as long as they met all the required protocols. German law requires a COVID test inside the last, with 48 hours to go before arriving in Germany, particularly for athletes from those worst hit territories, as they see it, from Portugal and the USA. But that for Trost, a big, big win. Now, back to the long jump. Echevarria, nice speed. Looks to be around 8 meters. Well, actually, it's a lot better than that. 8 meters 18 for the Cuban. That sets the standard. In second place, Sweden's Tobias Montclair, 7:79, and Tentoglu, 7:76 in second place. But that is the longest jump in the world this year for Juan Miguel Echevarria. Not really a great surprise, although the US indoor season has been rumbling up to speed for 3 weeks or so. It's really only just getting going in Europe. Well, there's the lineup for the women's 60-meter hurdles final. And what a race it promises to be. Barriers being put out there by the officials. What a great job they're doing too, under difficult circumstances. Every single one of them masked up, as you would expect. Well, Luminoso Bogliolo goes in lane 1, the Italian, for these 8 athletes. Doroletta Neziri in lane 2. Marita Herska goes in 2, actually. I think Neziri in lane 8 there, of course, going 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, and so on to get to the better athletes in the middle. Alina Talai of Belarus, European champion back in 2012, World Championship bronze medalist in 2015. Talai goes in lane 7. Samba Maella. French athlete, in lane 3. And then Vera Hermann goes in lane 6 for Belarus. Amuzan, watch out, Toby Amuzan of Nigeria. Amuzan, the Commonwealth Games champion from 2018, the fastest in the field, twice African Games champion outdoors. And Nadina Visser goes in the centre there, in lane 5 alongside Amuzan. Visser, 4 times World Championship finalist. Best of 7.83 at Birmingham back in 2018. So Visser, the quickest in the first round, was 7.98. Samba Mayela, 8 seconds exactly, and Toby Amuzan of Nigeria, 8.01, along with Nedziri, 8.01. So Nedziri, not quite as quick, going out in lane 8. So Visser is in 5, Amuzan in 4. Not much in it at the moment. Amuzan just leading at the line there, maybe on the near side. Nuralotta Nedziri taking it. Goodness me. Nedziri, who was, well, 4th fastest in the first round, although it was very tight. There were just hundredths of a second between the 2nd quickest and the 7th quickest in the first round. And I think Nuralotta Nedziri has taken that one. That would be a bit of a turn up from lane 8. The Finn does indeed win, 7.97. Her personal best coming into this meeting. She was very close to that in qualifying. And she wins here in 7.92. It is a new lifetime best for Nuralotta Nedziri. 9 times the national indoor champion at 60-meter hurdles for Finland. On the near side, look at her. The battle going on in the middle is what I was focused upon, but she got that one absolutely perfect. She has a Macedonian, Albanian father and a Finnish mother. 8th fastest Finnish woman of all time in the 100 meters, and she used that flat speed between the barriers so well there. You don't see that very often. The quickest athletes from the qualifying rounds get the center lanes, and you don't expect winners to come from the outer lanes. It's pretty rare. But in a lifetime best, there's 7.92. Nedziri wins from Amuzan, 7.94. And Visser's 7.96. Now, Zernickel, 3rd and final attempt at 5 meters 72. Let me see who's clear of this. Cole Walsh and Torben Bleck of the USA and Germany respectively went over first time. Matt Ludwig went over 2nd time. Renaud Lavillenie is passing at this height. He's had just 1 vault so far. That was a first time clearance at 5.62. And Zernickel here, the first of 3 men having to take a 3rd attempt at this height. 5.72. No, gave it quite a clatter. Didn't have that penetration, did he? In the horizontal plane across the bar. Well, as ever in indoor athletics, there's action him in the 2nd round, just like in the 1st. That is so frustrating. He's an 8.16 jumper. Did that 6 years ago in Karlsruhe. And he actually won here last year, Eusebio Caceres. He's a good athlete, world-class athlete, but he's in trouble there after 2 rounds. There's the result of that women's 60-meter hurdles final. Nuralotta Nedziri, a national record for the Finns with 7.92 to win. Amuzan and Visser in 2nd and 3rd. This long jump competition still being led by Echevarria, by the way. The Cuban has had just 1 jump so far. His opener, 8.18, puts him quite some way out in front. Can tell you, though, that his compatriot, Michael Masso, has also cleared 8 metres in the second round, 8:02 to move into second place. Now, Ernest John Obiena from the Philippines. We've seen Zernickel go out at 5:70. Is this the third attempt for Obiena? Well, now he thinks better of it. Stay calm, stay focused. Checking the clock. Now Tentoglu in this long jump. Well, Tentoglu opened with 7:76. Yeah, I thought he was into the plasticine there. He's down in 4th place at the moment. Now he's an 8:38 jumper, Tentoglu. European champion in Berlin 2018. As we see Obiena now. Oh, that wasn't a bad attempt. Just came undone up at the top. And he drops out of the competition as well, I'm afraid, finishing in no better than 5th place. In fact, he will definitely be at least 5th. Now, the women's 3,000 metres final. And this will be a toughie. Meeting record 8:26 by Britain's Laura Muir 4 years ago. The world best is very modest 8:54 by Chiara McGeehan, who ran in that 1,500 metres earlier. That was in Manchester at the beginning of this month. Beatrice Chepkoech, though, the world champion in the steeplechase from Doha, and the outstanding world record holder over the barriers for the ladies. Courtney Bryant there to the right of picture. Melissa Courtney Bryant, based in Loughborough, is an 8:38 performer. She's world class. And in fact, on paper, indoors at 3,000 metres, slightly quicker than Chepkoech. Worku to the left of picture, also to be watched, 6th in that World Championship 5,000 metres in Doha. And the Ethiopian champion actually back in 2019 at 5,000. So away they go. The world lead 8:54, the meeting record a very impressive 8:26. The world record set in Stockholm back in 2014 by one Genzebe Dibaba, 8:16. Well, don't expect anything like 8:16 here tonight, but certainly a world best for 2021 is on the cards. The pacemaker, Katsiarina Kanienka of Belarus, goes to the front, looking for 2:53 per kilometre. Echevarria now, oh my word, way behind the board. He didn't get anywhere near having his toes on the board in that one. Technically rusty, I suppose you could say. Many of these athletes, that's excusable, of course. 7:72, but I wish we could see another shot of his foot and how far away he was from getting anywhere near the takeoff board. He won here back in 2018, did Echevarria, reigning world indoor champion, but there's certainly more to come from him. Now, Holtstepper. No, and that wasn't close either, was it? So Holtstepper goes out. Renaud Lavillenie, remember, sitting out this height, keeping his powder dry. So we've seen at 5:72 Holtstepper go out. His compatriot Oleg Zernickel and Ernest John Obiena of the Philippines back to the track for this women's 3,000 metres with Kanienka of Belarus leading them out. So we're looking for around 69 seconds per 400 metre lap, about 34.5, 34-35 per lap for these indoor 200 metre circuits. Totally different art running indoors to outdoors with those tight bends and 2 bends to every 200 metre circuit. It makes it far more tactical in the middle distances, far more technical for the sprinters. Indeed, only a few years back was the 200 metres taken out of championship competition indoors because it was considered such a huge disadvantage to be in one of the inner lanes compared with the outer lanes, that the authorities of the sport thought it was just too unfair on those drawn inside, and the event at championship level at least was taken out of the program. Worku in third place there behind Chepkoech, looking for the first kilometre split here. 2:50.96. Well, that's quick. That is only a click outside 8:30 pace. And the meeting record, well, don't forget it's a very impressive 8:26 by Laura Muir. But Chepkoech is the sort of athlete who is capable of that. Outdoors, she's run quicker than that, 8:22 last summer. She ran outdoors, although that is a quicker circuit for most athletes. Quicker way of racing on those gentle bends of the outdoor tracks. Now, Torben Black cleared the last three heights first time. This is 580. No. Well, Black has already vaulted a personal best. That 572 improved upon his 570 coming into tonight's competition from last year. But clearly feels 580 is within his compass. Chatting away there with the coach, I think, on the sidelines. Matt Ludwig next to go in that pole vault competition. As we stay with this 3,000 meters, and now Beatrice Chepkoech, tall, long striding. She's quite a majestic looking mover, and being world class on the flat is such an advantage when you're a steeplechaser. I'd make this point again and again, that when you think about the steeplechase, about 98% of the time you're running on the flat between the barriers. So having a great ability on the flat without the barriers is absolutely critical. Good hurdling technique. Well, we used to talk about it so much in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s, but this generation of top East Africans, the Kenyans and Ethiopians in particular, have made us reassess that. And I think hurdling technique less important in the steeplechase these days for men and women. Matt Ludwig now, very powerfully built American. First attempt at 580. Oh, that's nice. Oh, ho, ho. Well, he knows it's there. He certainly knows it's there, does Matt Ludwig. Here's a 585 vaulter that came in Albuquerque at those US Indoor Championships last year, where he took the US title. And that one, you're allowed to give it a clatter, and it's allowed to fall after you've taken the vault, and you can still be given a clearance, but it's up to the judges to decide whether or not you should get that white flag, and I don't think he got it that time. Wasn't marginal enough. Cáceres now. Echevarria is still leading with 8:18. His compatriot in second place, Michael Masso. Cáceres, 2 no jumps in the first 2 rounds. He's got to find a mark here. That looked better, but it's not long. Gets the white flag, but it's not far beyond 7 meters, maybe 720 or something like that by my estimation. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Cutting it really fine. Goodness me. That is living by the thickness of your shoe material. 7:43. Well, it was a little bit better than I expected, but he's down in 5th place now. Oh, that's close too. That's really close for Cole Walsh. This American trio are going well. They're in 1st and 3rd at the moment. That's his first failure of the evening. Perfect clearances so far, 4 of them. Right up to and including 572. Heinle. Well, his opening 2 efforts, modest, 7:15 and then 7:29. He's down in 6th place. I can tell you that Augustin Bay of France and Maximilian Entholzner of Germany have had 3 no jumps in all their first 3 rounds, unfortunately. Chepkoech then, winding it up in this women's 3,000 metres. Still there in the red shorts is Courtney Bryant of Great Britain. She could be a danger. 2,000 metres in 5:49, so that second kilometre when the pacemaker had dropped out was much slower, a 2:50 followed by a 2:59 effectively. Worku in second place. Kite, Gloria Kite, haven't mentioned her yet. The Kenyan 23-year-old, very strong indeed. Great 10K runner on the road, ran 30:26 in Valencia a couple of years back. But a big improvement should be due from Kite here, as Chepkoech holds on to the front, running the shortest line. Courtney Bryant now attacking down the back straight. Worku in third place. They're opening up a gap now on Gloria Kite, the Kenyan, in third. But it's Chepkoech of Kenya in the lead. The world steeplechase champion, the world record holder in the steeplechase, has such strength, has such power. Staying well clear and still looking calm. Worku battling through for second place ahead of Courtney Bryant. 8:41.99. It is by far the quickest time in the world this year. And really, considering that dawdling second kilometre, only a click inside 3 minutes, that is fabulous running through the final kilometre from Chepkoech and Worku and Courtney Bryant. The winning time, 8:41.98 for Beatrice Chepkoech. It's an improvement of just under 13 seconds on the world best. McGeehan's best, 8:54, shunted down the rankings now. Well, Renaud Lavillenie has been in action in the pole vault as the climax of that 3,000 metres was reached. Chepkoech doing it the hard way from the front, but staying at the front. Here is Renaud Lavillenie, only his second vault of the evening. 5 attempt, 5:80. Thank you very much, that's how it's done. That will be a confidence booster. I'm sure he watches these vaults on tape afterwards, and look at the daylight between him and the bar. He was way above that. Well, that was quite supreme from Renaud Lavillenie. He has cleared 5:92 this winter. We know he's in great shape. Now Torben Blek, second attempt. No. Lavillenie, of course, is the former world record holder with 6:16 meters. That was set at Donetsk 7 years ago. The world record, of course, improved last winter in Glasgow by the astonishing Armand Duplantis of Sweden to 6:18 meters. That's an out-and-out world record, indoors or out. Sergei Bubka, incidentally, still the third highest ever indoor vaulter with 6:15. But that was encouraging from Lavillenie. There was so much spare above the bar as he went over. Endholzner, well, will jump on despite those 3 no jumps in rounds 1, 2 and 3. Championship format not being employed here. Echevarria still leading with 8:18. Incidentally, he has passed his third round jump, the Cuban, who leads. His teammate still in second place, Masso, with 8:02 in round 2. And Montelaire in third, the Swede, with 7:90. That came in round 2. Now, Endholzner. A simple hang technique there, but again, a no jump. He just cannot dial it back sufficiently. 4 no jumps in a row. Perhaps we'll consider the first 5 as ranging jumps and then get it right in round 6 and shock us all, but that must be frustrating. 8:41.98, the winning time for Beatrice Chepkoech in a dominant performance in that women's 3,000 metres. The Kenyan there ahead of Fantu Worku, 8:42.22, and Melissa Courtney Bryant fighting third there with 8:42.41. Oh, that's a lovely clearance in this vault. Wow. Well, there is a battle on. And Matt Ludwig, second time clearance at 5:80. The bar will move up to 5:80 once we're done, 5:88 rather, once we're done with this height. And Renaud Lavillenie, of course, stays in front because of his first time clearance this height. But that's nice from Matt Ludwig. 585 is best. This is his season's opening competition. He studies at the University of Akron, where he's majoring in biomedical engineering. So he's not just a world-class pole vaulter. But look at that. Advice, technical advice from coach straight away after the vault, and able to watch the vault too on a tablet. Now, can Walsh join them? Cole Walsh from Phoenix, Arizona. Studies at the University of Oregon, so he's an Oregon Duck, as they call them, from Eugene, what many people regard as the home of track and field athletics, and of course the next host city of the World Athletics Championships. No. So Cole Walsh has another go. Torben Bleck has failed twice. He's got a vault to come yet. But I have to say that the caliber of the clearance of Renaud Lavillenie puts him way out in front. The American's so strong in depth in pole vaulting there. A university system just keeps churning out great athletes in the technical events. The women's 60 meters final then. And what a race this promises to be. Alexandra Burkhardt looked really good in the first round, didn't she? And Burkhardt producing a 7.33, a season's best, to qualify for this race. Burkhardt then going in lane 1. Montag goes in lane 8, Jennifer Montag. And after a personal best last Saturday, Montag running 7.26 here, not quite as quick. Rebecca Haase goes in lane 2. Haase, one of 4 Germans through to this final. And she was a semi-finalist at the last European indoors. Haase producing 7.31 in her heat. He's a Meyer of Germany we just saw. There's Asher Philipp, goes in lane 3. Looked really good out of the blocks in her heat, Asher Philipp, and I got the impression had a little bit more in the tank, the Briton. 4th quickest in the first round with 7.26. Ombissa Zongu, the 7.21. The 29-year-old French in the first round. Could be a threat. Aisha Del Ponte, surely she too has got more to come. The Swiss 24-year-old after that fabulous 2020 season. This is just her second race, an hour after her heat of 2021. Del Ponte 7.21, but this the outstanding favourite, by far the quickest in the first round. Dina Asher-Smith was 7.11. Not as quick as her British record and lifetime best of 7.08 from 6 years ago, but was she keeping her powder dry in that first round heat? I rather thought she was. She looked very relaxed coming out of the blocks and through most of the race. Will we see the full force of Dina Asher-Smith unleashed here? Don't let's forget, she's run 10.83 for 100 meters. Already that 7.11 to win her heat an hour ago is a new world lead. So that lineup then from the far side. Burkhardt in 1, Haase 2, Philipp 3, Del Ponte 4, Asher-Smith goes in 5, Ombissa Zongu 6, Meyer 7, Montag on the near side in lane 8. Good start there from Asher-Smith. Getting away now from Del Ponte and easing away from this one, wins by half a metre, 7.07. If that's confirmed, it's not only a new world lead, it's a new personal best and British record. Perfectly judged, and again, she doesn't look like she's straining. She's not a power-based athlete. She's such a smooth mover. Came through the traditional British system of an athletic club in South London, was an English schools champion, and moved through well from the junior ranks to the senior ranks, and is now such a different athlete to when she ran her 7:08 back in 2015. 6 years later, she's a lot better than 1/100th of a second faster, or capable of it anyway. But that from Dina Asher-Smith, very impressive indeed. Now back to this pole vault. No, not to be, I'm afraid. Has already vaulted a personal best tonight here as Torben Bleck. He's had a great night here in the Europa Halle. That first time clearance at 5.72 meters was a lifetime best, and he will go home a happy man, there's no doubt about that. He finishes in 4th place on count back behind Cole Walsh, because Walsh's first failure was at this height, 5.80 meters. But he is just another man who's going to do the business, so to speak, for Germany in years to come. Bleck, at 25, he's relatively new name for my money on the international scene. 5.52 in Leverkusen already this year, and then tonight 5.72 meters for that new lifetime best. There's confirmation of Dina Asher-Smith's win, 7:08 in the 60 meters, and a new world lead for Mombisa Zongo and Del Ponte, a good third there, equaling her personal best, the Swiss Lisa Meyer in 4th. Well, the men's 3,000 meters will be the next event on the track, and the men's 60-meter hurdles to come after that will close the track program. Back to Cole Walsh, though, under a little bit of pressure here. 5.80 meters. Well within his capability. I say that, it's actually will equal his personal best from the Rouen on indoor meeting in France last year. But his outdoor best 5.83. No, not yet. Not yet, anyway. The pole vault is an event that nearly all of us can only remotely imagine trying to do. It is so demanding. Speed and power, spatial awareness. You need to be acrobatic. You need to have the spatial awareness of a ballet dancer almost. Cole Walsh there, dipping out a third-time failure at 5.80, and we're down to 2. Matt Ludwig and Renaud Lavillenie both have clearances at 5.80. The bar moves up to 5.88 as we see Echevarria now. Still leads this long jump competition with that second round, 8.18 meters. That looked better. That looked better. Oh, how frustrating. He passed the third round, having opened with 8.18 and then a 7.72. Passed the third round and no jump there, but I thought that looked pretty big. His compatriot Masso, by the way, has improved to 8.08 with his 4th round effort. Has closed to within 10 centimeters of Juan Miguel Echevarria. And now time for this men's 3,000 meters. What a lineup that is. Bethwell Bergen won here last year, the Kenyan. Took the bronze medal at the World Indoor Championships in 2018 in Birmingham, UK. Sean Tobin and Felix Vametsberger of Germany. They are the pacemakers. There is Bergen, 32 years old now. His fabulous speed. He's a 3:30 performer at 1,500 meters. He's a 3:50 miler, and 7:32 he's run outdoors for 3,000 meters. There's Jimmy Gressier of France, famous for his celebrations, but he's developing well on all surfaces, the former footballer. Only 23, he's a really good road, cross-country and track performer. He's got good speed too, 3:36 for 1,500 meters. Sean Tobin, Well, he will be a pacemaker, the second pacemaker, hoping to take them out to 2,000 metres in 5:05. So we're looking for 30.5 per lap. That would be 61 seconds per 400 metres, and obviously that would bring them home in 7:37 for the full distance. So Felix Vammetsberger is due to be the first pacemaker, taking them through to 1,200 metres in around 3:03, we are told. He's a 3:42 performer for 1,500 metres, 3:42.8, which is more or less equivalent to a 4-minute mile. You hear about the metric mile 1,500. Well, if you can run about 3:43 for 1,500 metres, that's about the same as 4 minutes for the full 4 laps, the mile race. 4 laps and a bit. But look out here too for Abdelati Igida of Morocco. He's in 4th place there in the blue vest. Vammetsberger leads from Tobin and slotting into 3rd place behind him is Bergen. But Igida, 33 years old now, the Moroccan. Quite slight, only 1.70 m, that's around 5'7" in those bright red spikes in 4th place. He is the real deal. He's Morocco's 3rd fastest miler in history. Fabulously consistent. He's a serial medalist, I think you could say, of Abdelati Igida. He's 3 times an Olympic finalist, but took the bronze medal at 1,500 metres in London 2012. On the early stages of that 3,000 metres for men, we can go back to this pole vault, which began exactly 2 hours ago, by the way. Matt Ludwig now, first attempt, 5:88. Oh, that was close. I think he gave it a good hard grip with his left hand anyway. Let's have a look. So it might have been deemed not valid. Yeah, he certainly tried to coax it back into place as he went over. Matt Ludwig there. I think that maybe that was why there was that cheeky smile on his face. Another name to watch out for here in 5th place is Andy Butchart of Great Britain. Butchart, who was the 6th placer in the Rio Olympic 5,000 metres. Igida, incidentally, finished in 5th in the Rio Olympic 1,500 metres. But it is a good, healthy pace being maintained here. Hence the single file. That's always a pretty enormous clue. Indeed, looking at the lap times that are being churned out, 29.2, 30.2, 31.2, 30.6 the last lap. So, job done for Vammetsberger. La Villani, 5:88. Oh, yes. And bang, there and then, I think the competition may have been secured in terms of win-loss, because, of course, a first-time clearance for La Villani there, and only his 3rd vault of the evening. And he is in very fine fettle, isn't he? He had elbow problems last year, which really affected his season. First-time clearance, of course, means that Matt Ludwig, if he wants to defeat the Frenchman, has to clear the next height, and that's 5:95, and that might well be beyond him. But I tell you what, there's plenty of daylight between La Villani there and the bar. That's hugely encouraging. I know he's done 5:92 this winter already, and of course his lifetime best is 6:16 from 7 years ago. But boy, oh boy, that was a vault of the very highest caliber. Now, back to this men's long jump competition. Tentoglu. We're in round 5. He's in 3rd place. That's not bad. That's cycling technique of his. In round 4, he cleared 8 meters exactly. That was an improvement on his round 1, 7:76. Nice on the board. The Greek squeezing every centimetre he can out of that one. The reigning European champion, don't let's forget, from Berlin 2018. 8:05, finds another few centimetres and threatens Masso, the Cuban, in 2nd place on 8:08. Still Echevarria leads, remember, with 8:18. 4.5 minutes on the clock then, in this men's 3,000 metres. the penultimate race of the evening. Tobin leading. Vammetsberger, the first kilometre took 2:32. That was a little bit slower than had been requested. Tobin here trying to push it along ahead of Bergen. 2:32.4 in fact. Butchart has moved up into third place. Igida in fourth. Philibert Thibodeau in fifth place. So 29.5 that lap. Yeah, he really has cranked it up here. I don't know if Bethwell Bergen is having a whisper in his ear, but Tobin has really kicked it in there, and Bergen has clung to his coattails, been dragged 5 or 6 metres clear. And Andy Butchart's got some work to do here if he wants to get back to the Kenyan. Looking very smooth indeed. He's a lovely, relaxed-looking runner, isn't he? The defending champion, in effect, at this meeting. 29.1 that lap. They've just put in about a 59-second flat, 400 metres. No wonder he's going away. Bethwell Bergen, a lap ago he was leading by 3 or 4 metres from Butchart. Now it's about 13 or 14 metres. Matt Ludwig then, back in this vault. Can he go clear here at 5 metres 88? It's a tall order, if you'll forgive the pun. No, not close. Second time failure for him. He has one left. Cleared 580 at the second time of asking. He is attacking this height. This would be a new lifetime best. He's never cleared higher than 585. As Bethwell Bergen, with that mid-race surge, has drawn well clear. And he just looks so relaxed, doesn't he? Just tiptoeing along, very light on his feet is Bergen. In 2018, when he took the bronze medal at this distance in Birmingham at the World Indoors, he won Kenya's only medal at those World Indoor Championships. And he's looking very smooth indeed. Katir, Mohamed Katir of Spain, has moved into second place and has drawn clear of Butchart and Igida and the rest of them as he hits the bell there around 7:04, 7:05. This is going to be quick. A 29.5 lap there from Bethwell Bergen. Well, we'll have to have a look at his splits later on, but 5:06 at 2,000 metres, 5:06.44. That second kilometre was superbly fast. It was 2:34 in fact, as Tahir closes right up on him. Katis, 7:34.12. Well, that is quick. I reckon his last 2 kilometres were inside 5:02. Can you believe that closing speed from Bethwell Bergen? Absolutely fantastic. The first kilometre was a little bit slow compared with what had been asked for, but then he cut loose and he has stormed through those last 9 or 10 laps so fast. 5:06 at 2,000, 7:34 that winning time. And Spain's Mohamed Katir, that's a new name for me. He comes home in second place in 7:35, was closing on Bergen all the time. And Katir has just improved by over 13 seconds. He was a 7:48 performer coming into this race. He's gone from 7:48 to 7:35. He is a 3:36 1,500 metre runner from last year. We know he's got good speed. He's got pretty good strength too, Katir. 28.58 for 10k on the roads. But wow, that is a meteoric rise up to world class. But nobody could threaten Bethwell Bergen here tonight. Wonderful run from the Kenyan. Retains his Europa Hala title here in Karlsruhe with a time that was even quicker than last year's 7:38. Not a meeting record, that belongs to Haile Gebrselassie from 1998. Listen to this, 7:26 Gebrselassie ran all of 23 years ago. Well, the long jump continues. We're reaching the latter stages now. Still, Echevarria leading. He's passed his 5th round jump. This is Endholzner. He recorded a mark in round 5, 7:41, his first mark, after no jumps in rounds 1 to 4. But he gets the red flag again. Well, He's saved himself from the embarrassment of having a full set of no jumps with that 5th round effort of 7:41. I don't think we saw that, and he's so marginally into the plasticine there. There is one school of thought that says just measure from where they take off to where they land. Measure how far they actually long jump, and don't put in the complication of the board, but that would change the discipline of the event dramatically, of course. Well, Dina Asher-Smith, fresh from that win in the 60 metres heat and the 60 metres final just a few minutes ago. If you've joined us in the last few minutes, let me remind you that she has run, in fact, it's 7:08. She equals her British record and personal best. It initially came up at 7:07, but it is a new world lead for the Briton, winning pretty comfortably there from the French athlete Olain Ombissa-Zongu. 7:16, a season's best for the Ombissa-Zongu, and Del Ponte, the Swiss, equalled her personal best in 3rd with 7.17. A fabulous run in the men's 3,000 metres. 7:34.12, the win for Bethwell Bergen of Kenya. Katia cutting new ground there with 7:35, a personal best by 13 seconds. Jimmy Gressier, 7:39, that's an indoor personal best for him too, the Frenchman. And Butchart, 7:40 there in 4th place. Also setting a new lifetime best. So really quick running there on this lovely Europa Halle circuit in the men's 3,000 metres. Just the men's 60-metre hurdles to come on the track. Tobias Montler then lying in 4th place, the Swede. Now, can he penetrate the rostrum positions? Remember, in this World Indoor Tour gold level of meetings, the first 4 athletes rack up points, 10 points for a win, 7 for 2nd, 5 for 3rd, and 3 for 4th place. And Montler there in the 6th and final round. Well, he was on 7.91 from round 4. That's 7.87. He's 4 centimetres shy of improving. Stays in 4th place, but does get those 3 possibly very valuable points in the World Indoor Tour. And Tentoglu in 3rd place of Greece will be next to go. Now, he's improved in the 4th round to 8 metres exactly. In the 5th round, 8.05. And to catch Masso of Cuba, who is in 2nd place, he needs to find 3 centimetres, does Tentoglu. If he could jump the same distance, 8.08, as Masso's best, and he would move into 2nd place on countback by dint of a better 2nd best effort. I'm not sure. Gets the white flag. I thought it looked pretty close on the board, but unless that distance marking board on the far side of the pit is slightly out, I'm not sure he's gone over 8 metres there. 8.03, tantalisingly close, but really good consistency. His last 3 efforts, 8 metres, 8.05 and 8.03, peppering at 8 metre region, but he does finish in 3rd place. Masso stays safe as we go back to this pole vault competition. Now, it's a big ask, and it's too big an ask for Matt Ludwig. His 3rd and final attempt at 5.88 is not successful, but he finishes in 2nd place ahead of his compatriot Cole Walsh, who was 3rd with 5.72. His 2nd attempt at 5.80 gives him the runner-up spot behind Renaud Lavillenie, who has cleared 5.88. First time, indeed. Only 3 vaults from Lavillenie, all of them good. And the bar now goes at 5.95. Jeff Hartwig there, giving advice to Matt Ludwig. Jeff Hartwig himself is one of that select club of athletes who have vaulted over 6 metres back in 2002. He won't thank me for telling you that it's 19 years ago in Sindelfingen. Jeff Hartwig there in grey vaulted 6 metres and 2 centimetres, and he's actually the 5th highest vaulter in history. I'm sure he's got a bit of technical advice to pass on. He's doing it willingly there to Ludwig. Echevarria then. Now he's passed on 2 jumps, the Cuban, passed in round 3, passed in round 5, His best was his opener, 8:18. He still leads. No, again, I think took off quite a long way behind the board. Let's have a look at it. I hope we can. I think he came here, yeah, not even on the board. Despite those monikered long jump spikes. 8:09, well, it's better than anybody else has been able to produce on the night. His teammate Masso, compatriot Masso, no jumping in the 6th and final round. So 1-2 for the Cubans in the men's long jump. Echevarria winning with 8:18 his opener, and he closes with an 8:09, which itself would have been good enough for the win. Masso second, 8:08 in round 4. Tentoglu third, 8:05, coming in round 5 for him. Well, Echevarria takes maximum points, then 10 points for that win ahead of his teammate Masso, who will get to 7 points for second. Tentoglu, 5 points for third. It all becomes more interesting, of course, as we see the series unfold and more meetings rack up. La Villani now, 5 meters 95. This would be a new world best for this year. Oh, yes! Wonderful stuff from La Villani. The world rankings were topped by Casey Lightfoot of the USA, 5 meters 94. He cleared in Lubbock, Texas, 2 weeks ago. Well, now 5.95 tops that world ranking list by this man. Still fighting fit, still in fabulous form at the age of 34. He's as good as new. Renaud La Villani pops over, gives it a little tickle, but that matters not a jot, because La Villani has not only won the competition here tonight, that was already sorted, but he goes clear at 5.95, maintains his perfect series of vaults, only his 4th vault of the evening, and wins by 2 clear heights from Matt Ludwig and Cole Walsh, the American pairing. He's the only athlete in any event who has won the Diamond League, the outdoor series of creme de la creme meetings, year by year since the Diamond League start back in 2010. His longevity is quite astonishing. He's the Olympic champion from London 2012, and so many of the Olympic champions from London, 9 years ago now nearly, don't forget, have long retired. But he's never won, bizarrely, a world outdoor title. He's finished 3rd on 4 occasions. Can you believe? 3rd in 2015, 2011, 2009, 2017, or let me say that in chronological sequence. 2009, 2011, 2015, 2017, he's finished 3rd. He broke that sequence by taking a silver medal in Moscow in 2013, but he just has not been able to nail that gold medal at an outdoor world championships. And I think a lot of people will feel he's missed his window of opportunity now with Duplantis dominating the pole vault scene when it comes to those major championships. Well, 6 meters, the bar has been moved up to. The meeting record has already been set. That 5.95 is a new meeting record for La Villani. It was 5.91 by his own hands back in 2016. Well, 5 years later, he's come back and won here again. And actually, let me just remind you, this is his 5th win here in Karlsruhe. He won here in 2013. Then he won a brace of titles in 2015 and 2016. And then he won here last year. Men's 60-meter hurdles then. And this the final track action of the night. Well, Balneveit goes in lane 1. Eric Balneveit. In lane 8, Aaron Mallet looked really good in qualifying, didn't he, Mallet? But he gets an outside lane here. Gabriel Constantino is out there as well. Constantino is in lane 2. Paolo Dalmolin of Italy, their national record holder, he goes in lane 7. In lane 3 over on the far side, Aurel Monga of France. Monga producing 7.68 in his heat. Artur Noga goes in lane 6 for Poland. Monga. Noga producing 7.75. Qualified by right, though, as one of the first 2 in his heat. Jikia. Damien Jikia goes in lane 4. He producing the second fastest time in qualifying in 7.68. Same time, by the way, as Monga and Aaron Mallet. But Willem Belossian was a class apart. 7.48, a new personal best to win his heat earlier in the evening. And Belossian, well, European indoor bronze medalist in 2015, European outdoor bronze medalist in 2016. Already in good form this winter. He came here tonight with a personal best of 7.52 from 6 years ago. Well, he improved that to 7.48. The meeting record, by the way, 7.38 by Alan Johnson back in 1995. That might be a big ask. So, the men's 60-metre hurdles final. Balneveit in 1, Constantino in 2, Monga 3, Zicchio 3, Belossian goes in 5. Watch him. Noga 6, Dalmolin 7, Aaron Mallet, lane 8. And a full start there now. Who was that? Just looking, and I think it was Gabriel Constantino. Just looking at my computer, indeed. Several athletes there getting underway. But the first of them to move was Noga. Oh no, Artur Noga of Poland from lane 6 is disqualified. Takes it very graciously, doesn't he? Does Noga, but what a shame. Very experienced, he's an Olympic finalist. Was 5th in Beijing 2008 in that bird's nest at the Olympic Games. Massive fella too, 1.96 m. That makes him what, around 6'5", 92 kilograms. Almost too much power maybe tonight. And lane 3 is now empty. So Damien Jikia is gone. It is a Jikia who has been given that full start, by the way, not Noga, although he also full started, but Jikia is out. Belossian of France in lane 5, outstanding favourite after the form of the heats. Well, really good running there from Dalmolin, second to left, but Belossian leading the way at the moment, pulling clear towards the line, getting further away off in that run in 7.49. Well, that is not bad at all. That is real consistency from Belossian. He threatened it in the first round in the heats. 7.48, a personal best to win his heat and be the quickest by 0.2 of a second, and that is a gulf in 60-metre hurdling. And he runs 7.49 there, that to be confirmed, to win the final very comfortably indeed. Not as quick as Grant Holloway, but easily the second quickest in the world this year after Holloway's US record equaling run last Sunday in Fayetteville. Well, a really good night's work for Belossian. He came here tonight with a best of 7.57, ran 7.48 in his heat, and then 7.49 to win this final. He's small and compact, isn't he? Gets that lead leg slapped down really quickly off the barrier. Drives hard for the line. Good running for Mallet on the near side to take second place there. And just confirming that to win for Belossian, it is 7.49. Mallet 7.59. La Villani 6 meters exactly. Oof, no. That wasn't really so close. The psychology of score, of course, starts becoming very significant there, even though his clearance at 5.95. He just tickled the bar a little bit on that one, but on some of his earlier vaults, his 5.80 and 5.88 vaults, there was huge daylight between him and the bar. Now watch this. No, you can see that. His high point way in front of the bar. He'll know what to adjust. He can see this replay in the arena. Well, the Europa Halle has seen some astonishing performances here tonight. It really has. In one event after another, we've seen supreme racing, supreme jumping and throwing. Bergen's winning the 3,734 stands out, as does indeed Beatrice Chepkowicz's 8:41 in the women's 3,000. That's a wonderful 3,000-meter double for the men and women for the Kenyans. The men's long jump, well, a supreme win from Echevarria, 8.18, winning by 10 centimeters from his teammate Maso. And of course, let's forget that men's 400 meters final, or the two finals, where Marvin Schlegel caused somewhat of an upset by winning the first of two 400s in 46.61, with Huzilos behind him in 46.68, and Maslak winning the second race, but it was a slow, dawdling first lap, and he came home in 46.99, the three-time world indoor champion. There it is, Bolossian, 7.49 to win the men's 60-meter hurdles, ahead of Aaron Mallet, 7.59. Monga of France making it 7.64, and a Mallet sandwich, so to speak, between the French there in the first three. Well, Alain Blondel there to the left is the an international athlete coordinator. And what a good night he's had in astonishingly difficult conditions. The challenging conditions that he has met and kicked back with interest this evening in what has been a fabulously successful edition of the Indoor Meeting Karlsruhe will inspire other meeting directors coming up in the next few weeks. Of course, we're looking at Banska Bystrica in Slovenia, the high jump meeting, this coming Tuesday, and then Liévin, France on the 9th of February, quickly followed by the New Balance Indoor Games in the USA on the 13th, and the Copernicus Cup in Torun in Poland on the 17th. And the series will be concluded in Spain on the 24th of February with the Madrid meeting. World Indoor Tour Gold series of meetings really have been kick-started here tonight in Karlsruhe, and it's not over yet, because La Villani here looking to really make his mark here tonight, perhaps with a 6-meter clearance. He's already improved his own meeting record. 5.91 5 years ago to 5.95 tonight. This a second attempt at 6 meters. No. It's difficult, isn't it? And I think that, yeah, he says, no, we're calling it a day. It's not there. Not yet. Not tonight. We've all been watching sport on our TVs in recent months without spectators, and it is difficult. And of course, they lend so much to the atmosphere, to the athletes. They urge them on in the races and the throws and the jumps, and without that crowd here tonight, maybe the marginal difference isn't with Renaud Lavillenie, but there is more to come. It's early in this indoor season. Without doubt, 6 meters and more is in those 34-year-old legs. Maybe not the 6.16s of Donetsk 2014, but certainly something well beyond 6 meters, I believe, is within his compass. So Lavillenie wins the pole vault, then 5 meters 95, a new world lead and a new meeting record. Matt Ludwig and Cole Walsh in second and third for the USA. It has indeed been a fabulous night of track and field athletics here in the Europa Halle. do hope you've enjoyed it even half as much as I have. Big win in the 800 metres from Giles Elliott of Great Britain, 1:45.50. The women's 1500 metres, Katharina Trost winning in a tactical 4:12 for Germany. But it really does set things up nicely for the next World Indoor Tour Gold meetings. Banska Bystrica in Slovenia on Tuesday and Ljeva on the 9th of February. For everybody, the Europa Halle in Karlsruhe, and for myself, Tim Hutchings, bye-bye.